Yuri? Oh. Well, that's not really what I expected. What are you doing here? I raised an eyebrow. I genuinely didn't expect her. A burglar was higher up on my list than Yuri. Probably because I was just about to call her. So wait, if you thought there was a burglar through your door, why didn't you just open it?
Well, I was just, in the neighborhood.
Yuri, you seem a little tense. Granted, I was too. I was just way better at hiding it. She sighed.
I wasn't just in the neighborhood.
She turned her head.
I came because I had something I needed to say. Something important.
I'm all ears, I said skeptically. She's not here just to tell me she hates me and is moving schools, is she? I felt my heart sink. No, that couldn't be it, right? She was smiling. It has to be good news or something, yeah? I braced myself for what was to come. Please just spit it out.
I accept, Hallie.
Accept what?
Darn it.
She muttered something to herself and audibly exhaled.
I accept your confession.
Confession? You mean like what I was talking about earlier? At school? My voice reached an octave I couldn't have thought possible as the fireworks exploded in my head. There's no way. She can't mean that she has to be messing with me.
Yes, Hallie. I accept your romantic confession.
Holy shit. She wasn't kidding. And she doesn't hate me. I felt like I could cry tears of joy.
So, would you, maybe,
I chuckled. Yuri, will you be my girlfriend? She smiled.
That would be lovely.
I did it. I really did it. I got Yuri to be my girlfriend. I got what many consider unachievable. I got the cutest, sweetest, nicest girl in school to agree to go out with me. I felt like I could jump for joy. I won. I won the game. I can only go up from here.
So, Hallie, may I enter your humble abode?
I would have chuckled, but knowing Yuri, that was a part of her vernacular. Of course. I stepped out of her way and she walked inside.
Wow, it smells so good in here. Is that coconut?
Yeah, I said and turned to face her. I lit one of my dad's candles. He's always been a fan of it.
Well, I really like it. So if you have more, please.
She seemed to lose all of her nerve in the middle of the sentence.
Use them.
Yuri, you are one strange girl.
Sorry, I don't want you to think you have to or anything. I was just...
Hey, it's okay, I said and put a hand up. I can light those candles all day long if it'll make you happy. I smiled at her. She blushed and turned away.
Thank you.
Smooth one, Hallie. Man, she's cute. I really struck gold here. Woohoo!
It's not fair. It's not fair.
They were talking in the hall. Probably making date plans. It would make sense.
As soon as Hallie broke up with me, he went to Yuri.
He did say he loved her, but he took the day off. It came in anyway, just to see her.
He never did that for me. Of course he didn't. Because he never loved me.
She put a hand to her eyes as they began to cloud up. No.
Get over yourself.
He was mature about it. He did what he had to do. Just move on. Move on already, damn it. Forget about him. Forget about his personality. Forget about his interests.
Forget about his smile. His haircut that he combed for you. Damn it. Why? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? So hard to just forget. So hard to just move on. He never loved you.
She began to bawl.
None of it meant anything to him. And he forgot about you practically instantly.
She put her head in her hands as she began to frantically wipe her eyes. He's not worth the tears, but no matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't stop. She put her hand on the wilting petals of a peony. She held on to them. Of course she did.
But why?
She didn't know why. Knock knock, said someone. Monica poked her head out of her hands.
Yeah? Are you all right, sweetheart?
She looked down at the carpeted floor. It was a... Dang it, it was a stab in the dark.
No, Papa.
Chapter 5, Mistletoe. I have been dating Yuri for exactly a week. It's December now, the 19th, so Christmas is nearing, and the temperature has started to nip a bit more. I hope my dad isn't getting too pissed at the heating bill. But anyway, I was getting a little worried at how the holidays were going to go down. I know it would have been a little early, but I prayed Yuri didn't ask me to come spend it with her and her parents or something. Well, pardon me. I wasn't sure if I could handle that. If they're anything like Yuri, they may be rather pompous. That's not to say Yuri was snobby, but she definitely carried herself a certain way. A way that I'm not sure I would have ever been able to match. Because, well, I'm normal. Probably as basic as they come. Frankly, I would rather just spend Christmas with the girls. But hell, that may even be a tough choice. Club tensions are a little high. Granted, Lanka seems to be doing rather okay, if a little more robotic than before. Though there is a way that the club used to operate before all of that stuff went down. And all of us can tell things have changed. I scrub extra hard on a dish to try and get rid of a stain. Damn thing. Well, anyway, I can always invite Sayori over, but I'm a little concerned about her. In the club, she seems empty. When she's not forcing herself to be bubbly, she's just staring at her desk. I hope what happened between me and Maka didn't affect...
Allie, look.
I perked up. What's up?
They're making a movie for Portrait of Markov.
I looked around the pillar we had in the kitchen and over at the television. It was hard to see because of the glare, but I could hear the radio. Wow. I guess they are. I turned to Yuri. She seemed to be knitting something. Oh, I didn't know you liked to knit. She seemed surprised, but instantly hid what she was working on. Is she embarrassed?
It's just a hobby of mine.
Oh, that's cool. But why are you embarrassed about it? I voiced my thoughts. You don't have to be embarrassed about what you like while you're around me, Yuri. I'm your boyfriend. If I don't support you, or support what you like, that's kind of a dick move. I could see her blushing face, but she smiled.
Thank you. It means a lot to hear that from you.
I nodded and she went back to knitting. I tilted my head to what she exactly was knitting? Wait, I tilted my head to what she exactly was knitting. I'm not sure what that sentence is supposed to say, but I'm guessing it's trying to see it. It looked like something gray. I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but I could see the condition of her knitting needles. I may not be good at knitting or know anything about it, but even I could see that they looked trashed. They even looked slightly rusty. She's not putting the rust anywhere near the actual product, but it seems to be a struggle for her to do so. She should probably buy some new ones. Either that or ask her parents for some. But anyway, that wasn't really my business. For all I knew, they could have sentimental value. What about that movie? Would you want to see that movie when it comes out? She nodded enthusiastically.
I would love that.
Sounds like a plan, then. As I continued to wash the dishes, Yuri continued to knit. It was a calm evening.
Oh, and would you like to continue reading Portrait of Markov together? I'm not sure if you've, finished it or not, but I would like to read with you.
She began to mutter.
Portrait of Markov or not?
Sure. That'll be fun. She went back to what she was doing, as I did. Or, as did I, rather. At least until I was interrupted by a timer going off. Ah, that's dinner. I stopped the timer and grabbed my pot holders. I opened up the oven and slowly pulled out a dish. I set it onto the counter and wiped my forehead. Come take a seat, I'll serve it up. Yuri nodded and set down her knitting needles. I grabbed the plates, silverware, and napkins. You want a drink?
I can get myself a water. You've done so much, the least I could do is get my own drink.
I shrugged. Suit yourself. I grabbed a spatula and brought the meal over to the table. I set it on a pot holder so I didn't ruin said table. This is an old family recipe. It's just a chicken noodle casserole, but I promise it's really good. I gave her the spatula and she served herself a portion.
I don't doubt your ability, Hallie. Thank you for the meal. It looks very good.
I nodded. Of course. We both began to eat, and as we did, I was pleasantly surprised after every bite. I really knocked this thing out of the park. Grandma would be proud. Bless her heart. I set down my fork and grabbed another serving. God damn. Though, as I began to eat, I noticed Yuri also go for another serving. And then another. As I finished my second, Yuri was grabbing a smaller fourth serving. She was practically vacuuming this stuff down. Though I think Yuri noticed me watching because she began to slow down. She even looked slightly embarrassed.
That was, very good.
Thank you. I smiled.
1 minute, though. I'll be right back.
Yuri stood up, walked out of the kitchen, and went down the hall. Probably had to go use the bathroom or something. It would make sense. I began to clean up our dishes. She seemed done, and so was I. Damn, we had no leftovers. Impressive. I set the dishes in the sink. Oh, you know what? I have POM in my backpack. POM? Oh, Portrait of Margot. I can go grab it while she's in the bathroom, and when she comes back, we can read it together. I nodded to myself. I exited the kitchen and walked to the hallway. But as I passed the bathroom, I heard retching. Is that Yuri? Crap! I tried to open the door, but it was locked. She retched again, and I heard liquid. She was throwing up. I began to knock rapidly. Yuri! Yuri!
What? Allie?
Yuri, are you okay? My dinner didn't make you sick, did it?
No.
Well, then...
I just ate too much too quick. I'm going to be alright. In fact, I'm feeling better already.
You were feeling bad before?
Just some mild nausea. But
Okay. If you're sure.
I'm very thankful that you're concerned, but I'm as well.
Alright, I get it. I sighed and continued to... What was that? Even if what she said was true, she did eat a lot. I'm still skeptical. I opened my door. I didn't know what it was, but I felt like she wasn't telling me everything. Maybe she really did get sick and is just trying to protect my feelings? No, it couldn't have been my cooking. I'm feeling fine, and we both ate it. Maybe she just has some kind of stomach issue. Or one she's scared to tell me about. It would fit for her. Yuri isn't the most confident girl. Even if I said I wouldn't mock her interests, she probably isn't fully confident that I'll look past underlying conditions. Even if it's just a stomach issue. I shook my head and unzipped my bag. Yuri can tell me when she wants to. I just hope she knows I'll accept her for who she is, regardless of her conditions. I grabbed out the book and exited the bedroom shortly after. I walked back to my living room and sat on the couch. Yuri walked out of the bathroom shortly after. She rushed over to sit next to me.
So sorry about that.
It's okay. I can understand eating too much. I do it all the time. I grinned and she smiled. So, you want to read some of the book? I held up Portrait. I'm on the second to last chapter, I believe. So we're almost done.
That's great. That means we're getting close to my favorite part.
She turned and got comfortable as I opened the book. She grabbed one side and I grabbed the other. Granted, we had to use our laps as a makeshift table, but that wasn't too bad. I smiled internally at our closeness and we began to read. It was a few hours later. Honestly, I was surprised Yuri was still with me. It was nearing 22 o'clock, yet she stuck around. I turned to her. Don't you have to be getting home soon? She raised an eyebrow.
I should be, yes. But I want to do something first.
What's that? She became bashful.
Well, it's something I want to show you.
My face began to heat up.
No, not anything like that. It's just something important to me. I know we haven't been dating very long, but I think we've gotten close enough as friends and lovers. So if you could grab a jacket, I would really appreciate it.
A jacket? Are we going somewhere? She nodded. At this time of night? She nodded again.
It's better at night, trust me.
Okay. I have one on my coat rack. I stood up from the couch. Lead the way, my fair maiden. She giggled and stood up. I walked over to the front door and grabbed my hoodie. After showing it on, I opened up the front door. Yuri walked past me and out the door, and then I followed shortly after. I closed the door and locked it behind me. So, where are we headed?
This way.
She grabbed my hand and we walked off. After a few minutes, she realized she had grabbed my hand.
Sorry.
She dropped my hand. but I grabbed her hand again.
Wait, what are you?
You're my girlfriend, aren't you? And I'm your boyfriend. We're supposed to hold hands. She seemingly hesitated, but eventually she smiled. She laced her fingers with mine, and we walked on. After a few minutes of walking, I spoke out loud. So, where exactly are we going?
You'll see.
I nodded. Alright. That's very ominous, hon. But I'll trust you. After a few more minutes, we were in a part of the suburbs that I had never been in, and I was getting slightly nervous. I know Yuri wouldn't lead me to a torture society or anything. This isn't a date with Yuri, after all. But this is unfamiliar territory. Yuri? I turned to her.
Yes?
Where are we? I know I asked where we were going, but where are we currently? I've never been in this area before.
Oh, it's just an area close to my house. There's nothing to be worried about. It's a safe neighborhood.
Internally, I was getting myself worked up over nothing.
This way.
She led us down an alleyway between two houses. Vines grew on the walls to the sides of us, and it felt like we were going into the depths of the suburbs. Like it was some circle of hell. I chuckled to myself. That's an interesting concept, huh? Yuri stopped and then began to mess with the padlock gate. I wasn't paying much attention, though. I was stuck in my own head. That could be a funny parody book. If I ever try my hand at writing, I bet that concept could catch a little bit of attention. I would have to write it well, though. The padlock fell out the gate, and Yuri kicked it to the side. Goodness. Yuri, wasn't that a locked gate?
No.
Yuri, did you just pick that lock? Or did you have a key? She sighed.
I had a key. I talked to the owner of this house to see if I could get one, and she granted my request.
But why? What's behind this gate that needs to be locked?
You'll see.
I deeply inhaled. The suspense is killing me, babe. Please just tell me. You're...
Babe.
I froze. Did she really have to get hung up on that? Yeah. Just always wanted to call a girl that. This is really embarrassing. Damn it, Yuri.
Oh.
Is that a problem? I can not call you that if you want...
No.
I jumped slightly.
Sorry. I mean, no. Please call me that. I like it.
Duly noted. The hell even just happened? Was I freaking out or was Yuri? Maybe a little both?
Anyway, just follow me, okay? Where we're going is very special to me, and I just want you to not be disappointed before we get there, okay? It's not exactly exciting.
I sighed heavily. Yuri, I'm sure that whatever it is... I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm sure that whatever it is, it's lovely. Because what's special to you is special to me. I smiled.
Ellie.
She rubbed my head softly.
That really means a lot, you know.
I felt like a child as she rubbed my head. Just because you're taller doesn't mean you're older, damn it. And she took her hand off my head, she took her hand off my head and nodded at the gate. I grabbed her hand and we continued on. In the next session. We're still in the middle of this session actually, but like I need a little break. I'm gonna come back to recording this after a little bit. No outro because it's not over yet. See you later. Bye.